What was that? The mic. What was that? Was it the mic? Who knows? We are gonna be reading the Word of God. That's what we are gonna be doing. Reading the Word of God. We are gonna be reading the Word of God. I think we're done here. Let's let this guy didn't pop out today. And we start reading the Word of God in a minute because it's fun. And feel like we don't want to beg anymore. We need to get we need to get wide. Oh God, I feel good. 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 I feel. I feel good. 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 Feel good. I 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 feel good. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Feel good. 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 I feel good. Yes, I do. Feel good. Yes, I do. Feel good. I 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 feel good.
Oh, finish. Yeah, left for you.
I feel good.
Yes, I can.
I feel good. 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 Good. I feel good. Good. I feel good. Good. I feel good. 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 I feel good. 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 I feel good. 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 I feel good. 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 I feel good. I feel good. 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 I feel good. 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 I feel good. I feel good. 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 I feel good. I feel good. Okay. Genesis 15, New American Standard Bible. 1. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abraham in a vision, saying, Do not fear, Abraham. I am a shield to you. Your reward shall be very great. 2. Abraham said, O Lord God, what will you give me, since I am childless, and the heir of my house is Eliezer of Damascus? 3. And Abraham said, Since you have given no offspring to me, one born in my house is my heir. Then behold, the word of the Lord came to him, saying, This man will not be your heir, but one who will come forth from your own body, he shall be your heir. 5. And he took him outside and said, Now look toward the heavens and count the stars, if you are able to count them. And he said to him, So shall your descendants be. 6. Then he blessed. Then he believed in the Lord, and he reckoned it to him as righteousness. 7. And he said to him, I am the Lord who brought you out of of the Chaldeans to give you this land to possess it. 8. He said, O Lord, how may I know that I will possess it? 9. So he said to him, bring me a 3-year-old heifer and a 3-year-old female goat and a 3-year-old ram and a turtle dove and a young pigeon. 10. Then he brought all these to him and cut them in two and laid each half opposite the other, but he did not cut the birds. 11. The birds of prey came down upon the carcasses, and Abraham drove them away. 12. Now when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and behold, terror and great darkness fell upon him. 13. God said to Abraham, know for certain that your descendants will be strangers in a land that is not theirs, where they will be enslaved and oppressed 400 years. 14. But I will also judge the nation whom they will serve, and afterward they will come out with many possessions. 15. As for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace. You will be buried at a good old age. "16. Then in the fourth generation they will return here, for the iniquity of the Amorite is not yet complete." 17. It came about when the sun had set, that is very dark, and behold, there appeared a smoking oven and a flaming torch which passed between these pieces. 18. On that day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, to your descendants I have given this land, from the river of Egypt as far as the great river, the great Euphrates. 19. The Kenite and the Kenizzite and the Cadmonite. 20. And the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Rephaim. 21. And the Amorite and the Canaanite and the Gashite and Jebusite. Genesis 16, New American Standard Bible. 1. Now Sarah, Abraham's wife, had borne him no children, and she had an Egyptian maid whose name was Hagar. 2. So Sarai said to Abraham, now behold, the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Please go into my maid. Perhaps I will obtain children through her. And Abraham listened to the voice of Sarai. 3. After Abraham had lived 10 years in the land of Canaan, Abraham's wife Sarai took Hagar, the Egyptian, her maid, and gave her to her husband Abraham as his wife. He went into Hagar and conceived, and when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her sight. And Sarai said to Abraham, may the wrong done me be upon you. I gave you my maid into your arms. But when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her sight. May the Lord judge between you and me. 6. But Abraham said to Sarai, Behold, behold, your maid is in your power. Do to her what is good in your sight. So Sarai treated her harshly, and she fled from her presence. 7. Now the angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, by the spring on the way to Shur. 8. He said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, where have you come from and where are you going? And she said, I am fleeing from the presence of my mistress Sarai. 9. Then the angel of the Lord said to her, Return to your mistress and submit yourself to her authority. 10. Moreover, the angel of the Lord said to her, I will greatly multiply your descendants so that they will be too many to count. 11. The angel of the Lord said to her father, Behold, you are with child, and you will bear a son, and you shall call his name Ismael, because the Lord has given heed to your affliction. 12. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand will be against him, and he will live to the east of all his brothers. 13. Then she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her. You are a God who sees. For she said, Have I even remained alive here after seeing him? 14. Therefore the well was called Lahai. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. 15. So Hagar bore Abraham a son, and Abraham called the name of his son, whom Hagar bore, Ismael. 16. Abraham was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ismael to him. Genesis 17, New American Standard Bible. 1. Now when Abraham was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said to him, I am God Almighty. Walk before me and be blameless. 2. I will establish my covenant between me and you, and I will multiply you exceedingly. 3. Abraham fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, For as for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you will be the father of a multitude of nations. 5. No longer shall your name be called Abraham, but your name shall be Abraham. So, for I have made you the father of a multitude of nations. 6. I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings will come forth from you. 7. I will establish my covenant between me and you and your descendants after you throughout their generations of an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and to your descendants after you. 8. I'll give to you and to your descendants after you the land of your sojournings. I don't know. Is there anybody even listening to this? Is there anybody listening to this? Is there anybody? Am I even audible? Am I even audible? 12. No. Mm, 8. I'll give to you and to your descendants after you the land of sojournings, or the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. 9. God said, Father, to Abraham, now as for you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you, throughout their generations. 10. This is my covenant, which you shall keep between me and you and your descendants after you. Every male among you shall be circumcised. 11. And you shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be the sign of the covenant between me and you. 12. And every male among you who is 8 days old shall be circumcised throughout your generations. Is what I'm looking for. It's something which is not adding up. It's something which is not adding up. I need to know why. Why is it not adding up? This guy here. Okay. I don't know. I'm confused now. I'm really confused. I'm confused right now. And every male among you who is 8 days old shall be circumcised throughout your generations. A servant who is born in the house, or who is bought with money from any for this. I need to first see how this is. I need to first see something. This is how we on. Genesis 17 and check Genesis. I want to compare and see, am I there or am I on my own things? And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and shall be the token of covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you. Every man child in your generation that is the house is born. Okay. This is my covenant which ye. Okay, yeah. This is okay. Shall be this. I think I love this 17 where okay, this is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you and your descendants after you. Every male among you shall be circumcised. 11. And you shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskin, and shall be the sign of the covenant between me and you. 12. And every male among you who is 8 days old shall be circumcised throughout your generations. A covenant who is born in the house or is bought with money from any foreigner who is not of your descendants. 13. A servant who is born in your house or who is bought with your money shall surely be circumcised. Thus shall my covenant be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. 14. But an uncircumcised male who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin, that person shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. 15. Then God said to Abraham, as for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. 16. I will bless her, and indeed I will give you a son by her. Then I will bless her, and she will be a mother of nations. Kings of peoples will come from her. 17. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed, and said in his heart, will a child be born to a man 100 years old? And will Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child? 18. And Abraham said to God, oh, that Ishmael might live before you. 19. But God said, no, but Sarah your wife will bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him. 20. As for Ishmael, I will have had you. Behold, I will bless him, and I will make him fruitful, and I will multiply him exceedingly. You shall become the father of 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation. 21. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah will bear to you at this season next year. 22. When he finished talking with him, God went up from Abraham. 23. Then Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all the servants who were born in his house, and all who were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's household, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the very same day as God had said to him. 24. Now Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. 25. And Ismail his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. 26. In the very same day Abraham was circumcised, and Ismail his son. 27. All the men of his household were born in the house. Who were born in the house or bought with money from a foreigner were circumcised with him. Genesis 18, New American Standard Bible. 1. Now the Lord appeared to him by the oaks of Mamre, while he was sitting at the tent door in the heat of the day. 2. When he lifted up his eyes and looked, behold, three men were standing opposite him, and when he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them and bowed himself to the earth. 3. And he said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in your sight, please do not pass your servant by. 4. Please let a little water be brought, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. 5. And I will bring a piece of bread, that you may refresh yourselves. After that you may go on, since you have visited your servant. And they said, So do as you have said. 16. So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah and said, Quickly prepare these 3 measures of the fine flour, knead it, and make bread cakes. 7. Abraham also ran to the herd and took a tender and choice calf and gave it to the servant, and he hurried to prepare it. 8. He took curds and milk and the calf which he had prepared and placed it before them, and he was standing by them under the tree as they ate. 9. Then they said to him, Where is Sarah your wife? And he said, There in the tent. 10. He said, I will surely return to you at this time next year, and behold, Sarah your wife will have a son. And Sarah was listening at the tent which was behind him. 11. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in age. Sarah was past childbearing. 12. Sarah laughed at herself, saying, After I have become old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? 13. And the Lord said to Abraham, Why did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I indeed bear a child when I am also old? 14. Is anything too difficult for the Lord? At the appointed time I will return to you at this time next year, and Sarah will have a son. 15. Sarah denied it, however, saying, I did not laugh. She was afraid. And he said, No, but you did laugh. 16. Then the men rose up from there and looked down toward Sodom, and Abraham was walking with them to send them off. 17. The Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? 18. Since Abraham will surely become a great and mighty nation, and in him all the nations of the earth will be blessed. 19. For I have chosen him so that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, so that the Lord may bring upon Abraham what he has spoken about him. 20. And the Lord said, the outcry of Sodom and Gomorrah is indeed great, and their sin is exceedingly grave. 21. I will go down now and see if they have done entirely according to its outcry which has come to me, and if not, I will know. 22. Then the men turned away from there and went toward Sodom, while Abraham was still standing before the Lord. 23. Abraham came near and said, will you indeed swipe away the righteous with the wicked? 24. Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city, will you indeed swipe it away and not spare the place of the sake of the 50 righteous who are in it? 25. Far be it from you to do such a thing, to slay the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous and the wicked are treated alike. Far be it from you, shall not the judge of all the earth deal justly? 26. So the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare the whole place on their account. Genesis 18, New American Standard Bible. 27. And Abraham replied, now behold, I have ventured to speak to the Lord, although I am but dust and ashes. 28. Suppose the 50 righteous are lacking 5. Will you destroy the whole city because of 5? And he said, I will not destroy it if I find 45 there. 29. He spoke to him yet again and said, suppose 40 are found there. And he said, I will not do it on account of the 40. 30. Then he said, oh, may the Lord not be angry. I shall speak. Suppose 30 are found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. 31. And he said, now behold, I have ventured to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 are found there. And he said, I will not destroy it on account of the 20. 32. Then he said, oh, may the Lord not be angry, and I shall speak only this once. Suppose 10 are found there. And he said, I will not destroy it on account of the 10. 33. As soon as he had finished speaking to Abraham, the Lord departed, and Abraham returned to his place. Genesis 19, New American Standard Bible. 1. Now the 2 angels came to Sodom in the evening, as Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom. When Lot saw them, he rose to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground too. And he said, now behold, my lords, please turn aside into your servant's house and spend the night and wash your feet. Then you may rise early and go on your way. Then they said, however, no, but we shall spend the night in the square. 3. Yet he urged them strongly. So they turned aside to him and entered his house and prepared a feast for them and baked unleavened bread, and they ate. 4. Before they lay down, The men of the city, the men of Sodom, surrounded the house, both young and old, all the people from every counter, and they called to Lot and said to him, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us that we may have relations with them." 6. But Lot went out to them at the doorway and shut the door behind him. 7. And said, "Please, my brothers, do not act wickedly." 8. Now behold, I have 2 daughters who have not had relations with man. Please let me bring them out to you and do to them whatever you like. Only do nothing to these men, inasmuch as they have come under the shelter of my roof. 9. They said, "Stand aside." Furthermore, they said, "This one came in as an alien, and already he is acting like a judge. Now he will treat you worse than them." So they pressed hard against Lot and came near to break the door. 10. But the men reached out. Then the 2 men said, "Lord, whom else have you here? A son-in-law, and your sons and your daughters, and whomever you have in the city, bring them out of the place." 13. For we are about to destroy this place, because their outcry has become so great before the Lord, that the Lord has sent us to destroy it. 14. Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were to marry his daughters, and said, "Up, get out of this place, for the Lord will destroy the city." But he appeared to his sons-in-law to be jesting. 15. When morning dawned, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Up, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away in the punishment of the city." 16. But he hesitated, so the men seized his hand, and the hand of his wife, and the hands of his 2 daughters, for the compassion of the Lord was upon him, and they brought him out and put him outside the city. 17. When they had brought them outside, one said, "Escape for your life. Do not look behind you, and do not stay anywhere in the valley. Escape to the mountains, or you will be swept away." 18. But Lot said to them, "Oh no, my lords." 19. Now behold, your servant has found favor in your sight, and you have magnified your loving kindness, which you have shown me by saving my life. But I cannot escape to the mountains, for the disaster will overtake me, and I will die. 20. Now behold, this town is near enough to flee to, and it is small. Please let me escape there. It is not small, that my life may be saved. 21. He said to him, "Behold, I grant this request also, not to overthrow the town of which you have spoken." 22. 22. Hurry, escape, for I cannot do anything until you arrive there. Before the name of the town was called Zoar. 23. The sun had risen over the earth when Lot came to Zoar. 24. Then the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. Genesis 19, New American Standard Bible. 25. And he overthrew those cities and all the valley and all the inhabitants of the cities and what grew on the ground. 26. But his wife from behind him looked back and she became a pillar of salt. 27. Now Abraham rose early in the morning and went to the place where he had stood before the Lord. 28. And looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the valley, and he saw, and behold, the smoke of the land ascended like the smoke of a furnace. 29. That it came about when God destroyed the cities of the valley, that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot lived. 30. Lot went up from Zoar and stayed in the mountains, and his two daughters with him, for he was afraid to stay in Zoar, and he stayed in a cave, he and his two daughters. 31. Then the firstborn said to the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man on earth to come in to us after the manner of the earth. 32. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and let us lie with him, that we may preserve our family through our father. 33. So they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. 34. On the following day, the firstborn said to the younger, Behold, I lay last night with my father. Let us make him drink wine tonight also. Then you go in and lay with him, that we may preserve our family through our father. 35. So they made their father drink wine that night also. The younger arose and lay with him, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. 36. Thus both the daughters of Lot were with child by their father. 37. The firstborn bore a son and called his name Moab. He is the father of Moabites to this day. 38. As for the younger, she also bore a son and called his name Ben-Ami. He is the father of the sons of Ammon to this day. Genesis 20, New American Standard Bible. Now Abraham journeyed from there toward the land of Negev and settled between Kadesh and Shur. Then he sojourned in Gerar. To Abraham said of Sarah his wife, She is my sister. So Abimelech king of Gerar sent and took Sarah. 3. But God came to Abimelech in a dream of the night and said to him, Behold, you are a dead man because of the woman whom you have taken, for she is married. Now Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Lord, will you slay a nation even though blameless? 5. Did he not himself say to me, She is my sister, and she herself said, He is my brother? In the integrity of my heart and the innocence of my hands, I have done this. 6. Then God said to him in the dream, Yes, I know that in the integrity of your heart you have done this, and I also kept you from sinning against me. Therefore, I did not let you touch her. 7. Now therefore restore the man's wife, for he is a prophet, and he will pray for you, and you will live. 8. So Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, What have you done to us? And how have I sinned against you, that you have brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin? You have done to me things that ought not to be done. 10. And Abimelech said to Abraham, What have you encountered that you have done this thing? 11. Abraham said, Because I thought surely there is no fear of God in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. 22. Besides, she is actually my sister, the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. 13. And it came about when God caused me to wander from my father's house, and I said to her, This is the kindness which you will show to me everywhere we go. Say of me, he is my brother. 14. Abimelech then took sheep and oxen and male and female servants and gave them to Abraham, and restored his wife Sarah to him. Abimelech said, Behold, my land is before you. Settle wherever you please. 16. To Sarah he said, Behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, it is your vindication before all who are with you, and before all men you are cleared. 17. Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and his maids, so that they bore children. For the Lord had closed fast all the wombs of the household of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Genesis 21, New American Standard Bible. 1. Then the Lord took note of Sarah as he said, and the Lord did for Sarah as he had promised. 2. So Sarah conceived and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the appointed time of which God had spoken to him. 3. Abraham called the name of his son, who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Isaac. 4. Then Abraham circumcised his son Isaac when he was 8 days old, as God had commanded him. 5. Now Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. 6. Sarah said, God has made laughter for me. Everyone who hears will laugh with me. 7. And she said, Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children, yet have borne him a son in his old age? 8. The child grew and was weaned, and Abraham made a great feast on the day that Isaac was weaned. 9. Now Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, whom she had brought Abraham, mocking. 10. Therefore she said to Abraham, Drive out this maid and her son, for the son of this maid shall not be an heir with my son Isaac. 11. The matter distressed Abraham greatly because of his son. 12. But God said to Abraham, do not be distressed because of the lad and your maid. Whatever Sarah tells you, listen to her. For through Isaac your descendants shall be named. 13. And of the son of the maid I will make a nation also, because he is your descendant. 14. So Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar, putting them on her shoulder, and gave her the boy and sent her away. And she departed and wandered about in the wilderness of Beersheba. 15. When the water in the skin was used up, she left the boy under one of the bushes. 16. Then she went and sat down opposite him, about a bow's shot away. For she said, do not let me see the boy die. And she sat opposite him and lifted her voice and wept. 17. God heard the lad crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, what is the matter with you, Hagar? Do not fear, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. 18. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him by the hand, for I will make a great nation of him. 19. Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the skin with water and gave the lad a drink. 20. God was with the lad, and he grew, and he lived in the wilderness and became an archer. 21. He lived in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took a wife for him from the land of Egypt. 22. Now it came about at that time that Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, spoke to Abraham, saying, God is with you in all that you do. 23. Now therefore, swear to me hereby, God, that you will not deal falsely with me, or with my offspring, or with my prosperity, but according to the kindness that I have shown to you, you shall show to me and to the land in which you have sojourned. 24. Abraham said, I swear it. 25. But Abraham complained to Abimelech because of the well of water which the servants of Abimelech had seized. Abimelech. 26. And Abimelech said, I do not know who has done this thing. You did not tell me, nor did I hear of it until today. 27. Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them to Abimelech, and two of them made a covenant. 28. Then Abraham set 7 owl lambs of the flock by themselves. 29. Abimelech said to Abraham, what do these 7 owl lambs mean, which you have set by themselves? 30. He said, you shall take these 7 owl lambs from my hand, so that it may be a witness to me that I dug this well. 31. Therefore he called that place Beersheba, because there the two of them took an oath. Genesis 21:32. So they made a covenant at Beersheba, and Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, arose and returned to the land of Philistines. Philistines. 33. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree at Beersheba, and there he called on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. 34. And Abraham sojourned in the land, sojourned in the land of the Philistines for many days. Genesis 22, New American Standard Bible. Genesis 22. Now it came about after these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham, and he said, Here I am. 22. He said, Take now your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the land of Moriah and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I will tell you. 3. So Abraham rose early in the morning and saddled his donkey and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, and he split wood for the burnt offering, and rose and went to the place of which God had told him. 4. On the 3rd day Abraham raised his eyes and saw the place from a distance. 5. Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey, and I and the lad will go over there, and we will worship and return to you. 6. Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on Isaac his son, and he took in his hand the fire and the knife, so that 2 of them walked on together. 7. Isaac spoke to Abraham his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the burnt offering? 8. Abraham said, God will provide for himself the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. So the 2 of them walked on together. 9. Then they came to the place of which God had told him, and Abraham built the altar there, and arranged the wood, and bound his son Isaac, and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. 10. Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. 11. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, I am here, here I am. 12. He said, Do not stretch out your hand against the lad and do nothing to him. For now I know that you fear God, since you have not withheld your son, your only son from me. 13. Then Abraham raised his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in the thickest by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the place of his son. 14. Abraham called the name of that place, "The Lord will provide as it is said to this day. In the mount of the Lord it will be provided." Abraham called the name of that place, "The Lord will provide as it is said to this day. In the mount of the Lord it will be provided." 15. Then the angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time from heaven. 16. And said, "By myself I have sworn, declares the Lord, because you have done things and have not withheld your son, your only son." 17. Indeed, I will greatly bless you, and I will greatly multiply your seed as the stars of the heavens and as the sand which is on the seashore, and your seed shall possess the gate of their enemies. 18. In your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice. 19. So Abraham returned to his young men, and they arose and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham lived at Beersheba. 20. Now it came about after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, "Behold, Milcah also has borne children to your brother Nahar." 21. His firstborn, and Baz his brother Samuel, the father of Aaron. 22. You see his firstborn, and Baz his brother, and Camuel the father of Abraham. 22. And he chased and Hazel, and Peldash, and Jidlaph, and Bethel. 23. Bethel became the father of Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahar, Abraham's brother. 24. His concubine, whose name was Ruma, also bore Tiba and Raham and Tahash and Makkah. Genesis 10:3, New American Standard Bible. 1. Now Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. 2. Sarah died in Kirith Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went in to mourn for Sarah, and to weep for her. 3. Then Abraham rose from before his dead and spoke to the sons of his, saying, 14. 4. I am a stranger and a sojourner among you. Uh, 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 pretty much it just happened to me. A minute. Uh, yeah. Is there anybody? Yeah, anybody. Is there anybody? There anybody? There anybody? Is there anybody? 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 Is there anybody? Is there anybody? Is there anybody? Is there anybody? 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 Ah, 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 Yeah. Ah, I think it's a call. It's a call. It's a call. She changed my life. This guy is at work. Felt like a call. I should wake up for doing good things. Mm. Mm. Ah. 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 Mm. Um,